Hi everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of my web series, Wake Up and Makeup. This next episode is going to feature a very close friend of mine, Neelab. She's absolutely beautiful and she loves a bronze glowy look when she's going out for the night. Follow me step by step so I can show you how to recreate this look on yourself at home. Using the angled 266 brush by MAC, I'm going to start by outlining the base of the eyebrow. Now for the crease color, I'm going to use my favorite 224 eyeshadow brush from MAC. So I'm using MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural Medium Deep in Neelab's crease. I love using a bronzer that I'm also going to use on the face because that way you can get that rich bronzy J-Lo look, but it melts in with each other so there's no harsh lines and it's going to be beautiful for Neelab's olive skin tone. I'm going to start off right on the outer corner of the crease, and I call these little twister motions, just tiny little circular buffing motions in the crease, working my way from the outer corner to the inner corner. Take your time doing this if you really want it to come out flawless. So now to add more definition to Neelab's crease, I'm still going to use the same 224 brush, and I'm mixing Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow in Sienna and MAC eyeshadow in Saddle. So I'm gonna grab both and mix them together, and this is gonna go right on the outer corner of Neelab's crease. Don't worry about all of the excess shadow that extends past the eye shape. You'll see fall off on the outer corner of the eye and the lower lash line. I'm gonna take a makeup wipe and wipe up a beautiful shape, so really don't stress about that. Focus on making sure your blending is on point. I'm going to add a bright pop of color to her lid. I'm gonna use MAC All That Glitters eyeshadow using the MAC 239 flat eyeshadow brush. There's no shadow on this brush. It's just whatever residual shadow was left over from the initial crease application. I'm just gonna go back and blend the lid into the crease. The reason I do this is because I like my eyeshadows to be more of a watercolor effect. Now to add a little bit more of a vibrant touch to Neelab's lid, I'm going to use the same 239 eyeshadow brush from MAC, and I'm going to use Blanc type eyeshadow. This is also from MAC. This color is going to go right on the center of Neelab's lid, closest to the lash line. And what this does is it draws focus to the color of Neelab's eye, and it creates a really cool effect. When you get the eyeliner on, it makes it look a little bit more crisp and intense. Now using my finger, I'm just going to kind of blend the edges of that highlight. So now I'm going to use the same 266 brush from MAC that I used to fill in Neelab's eyebrows. MAC Blanc type eyeshadow, which I just used to brighten Neelab's lid color. I'm using Embark eyeshadow from MAC with the same 224 brush, and this is going to be the smoky color for the outer corner of Neelab's eye. I place the brush right on the outer edge of the lash line, and I just pat until I get the desired depth, and then I'm gonna start blending it. This gets rid of all of the residual eyeshadow, and this is exactly why it's easy to do your eye makeup first and then your face makeup last. Using the MAC 266 brush and MAC Black Chromaline eyeliner, I'm going to do a thin line closest to Neelab's lash line. When I apply mascara, I'm almost round brushing the lashes. What this does is get rid of the residual eyeshadow that has fallen on the root of Neelab's lashes. I'm going to use Miss Adoro lashes number 43. I don't need to trim these. They're already the perfect size for Neelab's lid. Be sure though, when you're applying lashes at home, check and make sure they fit your specific lid. I'm using Duo Dark Tone Adhesive. I love it because it dries like a black liquid liner. You want to wait about 30 seconds. Neelab skin is normal combination. It can tend to get a little bit oily and she prefers more of a matte finish. So that's why I'm gonna make sure that her skin stays radiant but more on the matte side today. So using my 193 foundation brush from MAC, I'm just gonna smooth that primer all over the entire face. For Neelab's foundation, I'm using Tarte Amazonian Clay. The shade is Medium Tan Honey. I'm gonna apply a few dots of the foundation throughout the center of the face, and then I'm gonna blend outward. If you remember from my first episode of Wake Up and Makeup, this is the Real Techniques Beauty Blender. Using the NC20 Pro Longwear Concealer from MAC and my same 193 foundation brush, I'm going to highlight and conceal Neelab's face. So doing the check mark shape from the inside corner of the eye, back to the temple, and then filling it in. You want to apply the concealer to the entire face before you blend it. This allows the product time to thicken up, which makes it easier to blend. I'm going to contour Neelab's face with Pro Longwear Concealer NC45 and my same 193 brush. I'm going to go back with my kabuki brush now and just blur the edges of the nose contour. I am going to use MAC Prep and Prime Transparent Powder. This is going to go directly underneath Neelab's lower lash line to prevent the concealer from moving or budging throughout the day. So I'll have you look straight up at the ceiling. You just want to pat this in. You'll notice that I'm not buffing, I'm not swiping. I'm just patting this in around the lower lash line. So to set Neelab's face, I'm going to use MAC Pro Longwear Powder in Medium Tan. The brush of choice today is the MAC 166 Angled Contour Brush. This is going to be Neelab's bronzer. It's going to add extra definition to her face, but it's also going to warm up the skin. Same 168 brush, and I'm going to go right over the areas that I contoured with that Pro Longwear concealer. For blush, I'm still keeping it rich and bronze, kind of like the theme of the day, obviously. So this is MAC Mineralized Blush in Alpine Bronze, but I hate to break it to you, it's discontinued. But if you want an alternative, you can use MAC Warm Soul Blush. It's close enough. This is a Smashbox fan brush. I am going to use Anastasia Glow Kit in Bubbly to highlight Neelab's cheekbones. Now I'm gonna go back with my little kabuki brush and just highlight the upper lip and the bridge of the nose. I love a white, bright waterline. So for Neelab's waterline, I'm going to use Pure White Chromaline by MAC. And I'm gonna place this right on the inside waterline of her eye. So now that I finished highlighting Neelab's lower lash line, I can go back and I can add a little bit of shadow and tuck it right into those lower lashes. This adds a little bit of definition without having to use a harsh, intense liner. I'm going to line using MAC Strip Down Lip Pencil. So to finish off the lips, I'm going to use Anastasia. By the way, I know some of you call it Anastasia. I call her Anastasia. So I'm going to use her new liquid lipstick in Stripped. I always save this for last because by the time I get to that point, all the powder is done, foundation's done, so there's nothing to get in the way of those perfectly separated lower lashes. Now the final step is MAC Fix Plus Spray. And she's all set.